Hey guys, it's Deborah. I wanted to do a follow-up video on the harvest moon video I did last. And I wanted to just talk to you about some current events and some other things. So the picture you see in front of you is a woman about to have her baby, and she's at the very end, and that's what I said is just like our world right now. So since I've been watching End Times since about 2018, there were times when there was like lulls and quiet times, and then there'd be these huge hype times where there was signs in the sky, signs in the earth, events happening, news every day or quite often, and then it'd be like quiet for a long time. Those days are over. And I've said this is just like labor. Jesus said it would be like a woman in travail, and that is what it's like in the end times. And it's going to come upon the whole world like a woman in travail. And that's what happens with labor. You have a general idea of when it's going to happen, when the baby will come. You have a due date, but you don't actually know exactly the moment because you just know the approximate time. So that's what's happening right now, is that there is no lull between events, and that's like contractions. There was, like I said, since 2018, a lot of huge things had happened, and then there'd be these quiet times. And now it's just event after event after event. Like just today, Chile had an earthquake of 6.4 magnitude. Like every day there's something, but that's just atop the volcano, the Canary Islands volcano. And I did some more looking into that. I did hear about it and everything, but now I understand why it's so huge is because it's one of the hot spots in the world that if it did break off, get into the sea, part of the island, then it could cause a massive tsunami to, it sounds like the United States. I don't know. That's what I heard. And there was there's a guy who had a dream back in 2012, and it's been going around the internet, where he said he heard Canary Islands 3 times, the words Canary Island 3 times, back in 2012, and he saw a big landmass fall into the sea, and it took out like New Jersey, and he named a bunch of states, like took them completely out. But he said it happened in August. So I don't know. I don't think that's what's going to happen now. But I think it will happen. It sounds like it's a dream that's prophetic. But I don't know. Another thing is, and I just heard another watchman talking about this, and he said, and I was thinking the exact same thing. He was talking about it, I was thinking the exact same thing, is that a canary is put into a mine as a warning. Like, you put the canary in a coal mine, like if you're coal mining, and if it stops singing, you leave. It's danger. If you hear it stop singing, that means it probably died, and it's a warning that something's going to go really wrong. Or if it didn't die, I don't know what happens to it, but it stopped singing. So anyway, I think a lot of people must have thought of this because he was thinking that, and I was thinking that before he even said it, and I was like, well, we're thinking the same thing, that what if the Canary Islands is the warning as a canary, to say it's about to happen. This is it. It's about to blow. Basically, the mine is about to blow. So that's what I think about that. But like I said, it's like a woman in travail. It never lets up. Now the contractions are so close together and there's no time in between them. The baby is coming, and that is obviously Revelation chapter 12. So now I'm going to talk to you about the harvest moon and my experience with it and some more cool stuff, celestial stuff, and just what happened to me on that day. What I had said is I don't follow calendars too much and all the stuff with that, or celestial stuff too much. But it's like I follow my heart. No, I follow, a man's heart is wicked every way. I'm joking. I don't follow my heart. I follow, the Holy Spirit. So I don't know what's 100% going on with that, but I truly believe God honors like the Gregorian calendar, the Jewish, the Hebrew calendar. He honors things that we would be signs to us, but that doesn't mean that everybody's always right. I'm not saying that. So I'm not going to get into all that. But anyway, what you're looking at before you is the harvest moon. And yes, I viewed the harvest moon inside the forest, deep inside the Canadian wilderness. That is a cabin in the corner there, a wood cabin. And there's it looks like a tree in the front, but it's actually a totem pole. I was literally in the woods, and I didn't mean to be, and I'll tell you the story. And I didn't mean to see the harvest moon because sadly, I actually forgot. I did the video on it and I forgot. That just shows how much I'm not depending on one specific day or something. I actually forgot, but God gave this beautiful sight to me. Okay, I'm going to continue with that in 1 second. I just want to show you 2 articles just to continue on with the theme of what's happening with the woman in labor and the fact that there are no gaps in between the contractions. Look at this article. It says, Satan's seat. Pope Francis the King orders the country of Vatican City closed to all Catholics who have not received the CV Green Pass. So, what? I mean, he's not even letting them go in if you don't have the Green Pass or to Vatican City. I mean, what else do you have to say? Contractions, okay? No space in between. This was also out today. Israel rules out CV isolation enforcement to tens of thousands of Israelis using GPS tracking system, but receiving third dose opts you out. So if you'll get the third dose, you don't have to be tracked. But if you don't get it, you do. What? And there's like this bracelet in a phone. So it's a GPS track. I don't even, so go on the website, Now the End Begins. Now the End Begins. And these articles are on there. But what? Contractions. No space in between. Baby's coming. Revelation 12. So I just wanted to tell you how my day went yesterday, because it links to the harvest moon and how I saw it. So last night I had to vote for the leader of Canada. I'm sure many of you don't even know that Canada's in elections. We're super low key. We don't really make a big deal about anything, and people don't really care anyway. So, but yeah, Trudeau called an election during the pandemic, and he just called it. And I knew that it didn't really matter. I felt like we were already going in a trajectory of NWO, and that's just how it was going to be. And the thing that I thought was that there could be a small possibility if I vote and the Conservatives, which is like the Conservatives would be more like the Christian type of people to win, and he's liberal. I thought if I vote for them, then maybe the people in the tribulation would have a better couple of first weeks or something. Honestly, that's all I was thinking. I really didn't think it's possible that he wouldn't win, because why would he call it in the middle of all this unless he knew he was going to win? The reason I believe he called it was because he wanted to get more seats and have a majority government. Oh, my daughter's crying. I don't know if you can hear that. Anyway, I better go. But yeah. I've broken up this video, filmed it, recorded myself so many different times. Anyway, let me try to finish this thought. But yeah, basically, I had to vote last night, and it was crazy. The experience was absolutely crazy and ridiculous where they had us voting. And that's how I saw the harvest moon. So I'm going to show you. I filmed some of it. I took a picture, and I actually video recorded some of it. And yeah, like I said, I only voted for that reason, that I thought maybe I could do some good in this world for some small time, but I didn't see how on earth he could come out, because one, he called it, so he must have known he was going to win. Why would he call it? This is his second term running, and now this is his third. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't see how it could go any other way. But like I said, I was doing it because I thought maybe there could be a small chance I'd help those left behind. That's literally why I did it. This is how I know it is completely end. If the Conservatives had won, I would have been absolutely shocked. But that's not the point of my video right now, or me explaining this. I just wanted to tell you guys I was doing that. But it's how God blessed me in that moment, and how absolutely crazy it was where I actually had to vote. I need you guys to know this is absolutely not normal what I'm going to show you. We vote in a building that looks like this, either a community center or university or something like that. You walk in, it takes 2 seconds, you walk out. But not this year, not 2021, because it's over. And we had to go in the forest. I am not joking, and I videotaped me leaving. We had to go deep in a forest. Okay, my son actually does his Cub Scouts here. So Boy Scouts. He does Boy Scouts in this forest. Like there's like a big log cabin and everything. And my daughter took archery, I think when she was in Girl Guides, took archery in here. It is a deep, dark forest. It was black of night, and this literally is the harvest moon you're looking at. So I'm sorry, this is a bit of story time, but I just had to tell you what happened to me in amidst all this stuff. So we get to this place. It is rammed. I mean rammed. you can't see the people. You might see their little heads at the bottom. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands, I guess, of people in coming into this forest. Because what happened was they couldn't use schools, I guess, because schools, like, they don't want to, like, get anyone sick or whatever. So then they're using the forest and they're using the forest, and I just can't even, everybody was laughing. Everybody was like in shock because we drove into this forest and had to walk into this deep, dark forest. Okay. And there's coyotes, there's everything. So, I do not live in a wooded area. I live in a normal area with houses, and like, I'm not in the city, but I'm not in the forest. So there was actually like a husband and wife in front of us in the line. Like, we all had to get into these lines. Everybody's like screaming and yelling. You hear people yelling, line 135, where's 135? Like, just, there was all these lines with numbers, and it was an absolute insanity. Let me just put it that way. And the couple in front of us, like an elderly, not elderly, like older than us, there was a couple in front of us, turned around to talk, and we were all laughing. And they had like a pretty thick East Indian accent. I think they thought I was East Indian or something, because they turn around, they're like, yeah, it's like back home, isn't it? It's like voting back home. And we're like laughing because they're saying it wouldn't, well, they were just joking. No, yeah, I'm not trying to put down anybody's back home, but it's true, you know, like when you're like certain countries, and I'm like, yeah, it's like back home because we're in the woods and this is not how we normally do it in Canada. So anyway, the reason I brought this up was, I mean, I forgot it was the harvest moon. I'm just looking to get out of here any moment. I don't sit there saying, oh, it's this day, it's that day. Knew that God, I just feel like these are stepping stones. I've said it before, but like, I forgot it was the harvest moon. But every single time it feels like there's one of these beautiful celestial events, God gets me out to see it. And I don't mean to. I just talked about the sliver moon of the Feast of Trumpets that, you know, I know some people are saying it's not. My point is, however it is, I just feel like he blesses me with that. I forgot, and there this massive moon starts rising above us, and I start videoing it, and the husband and wife in front of us, they're like, good idea, we have to video, this is absurd and crazy, like, we need to video. So they start videotaping everything, and we're just like, this is nuts. But anyway, I saw the beautiful harvest moon, and it just took my breath away. And it was just a massive reminder that I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. It is about that time. So I'm going to show you what it looked like driving out of the place, just to show you how deep in the woods we actually were. So this is us leaving. Okay. This is people coming in. This is like maybe 9 or 10 p.m. I think it's like 9 p.m. And so those cars, okay, the cars on the side there are nothing. That was like when we got out of where all the cars were parked. It was just rammed. Okay, so what I think they did is they took people from so many different districts and areas and like all slammed them into this forest to vote in a dark forest. Maybe that's normal to other people. I've never it was so 2021. Okay, see, these are more people coming in to vote. We're leaving. And anyway, so like I said, Trudeau won. So I don't know if you guys even know we had an election. Anybody out there? I don't blame you if you didn't. I forgot. So, and I just remember, like, oh, we have to vote today. It felt pointless because I'm like, he didn't call it for no reason. He called it because he knew he was going to win. And I don't see why, because literally I don't know anybody who is okay with how the world is going over here. And people I talk to who do believe in the V word or don't or whatever, like end times, not Christian, I've never met anybody who's like okay with this. So it just seems all pointless and whatever. But anyway, I just put this on a loop. I just replayed it again. So because I'm still talking. Anyway, so yeah, that was my experience of seeing the harvest moon. It was a beautiful experience, but that just shows how God like will do these things for you or whatever. And it was just awesome and wonderful. And even though it was extremely strange, it just reminded me of the time I'm in. I don't know. It just made me feel like, yeah, this is you. You're in this dark forest. It's crazy. These people are making you do weird things, but I'm watching over you. Like, I'm still here and I see what they're doing. Yeah, they have their plans. I'm letting them have their plans, and their plans will come to pass because I'm letting them do this. I mean, we can't stop it. The prophecy is going to happen. Like, we cannot stop it. If the Conservatives won, I would be absolutely shocked. I would have been like, what? but because it's not going to turn around. Like the labor pain, you don't go back now. The baby can't go back in. There have been times when women are like, I can't do this. I can't do this. At the last one, they literally say, I can't do this. There's no turning back. There's nothing you can do. It's coming. The baby's coming and there's nothing you can do. And people want the normal back, and I get that. It's scary. It's a dark forest. Like, it felt so symbolic to me. Yes, this is scary. Yes, they are asking us to do weird things and putting us in weird situations. But again, that moon was like, I'm watching. I'm in charge. But they have to have their way for the time that they're going to have their way. And then you guys, and, you guys don't have to worry for the 7 years. But leading up to it, it's going to be a little freaky. It's going to be very 2021. 2020 is really when it started, but 2021 is no better. Anyway, so let's move on to the next topic, which is why I actually was thinking of making this video, but then all this other stuff came to mind, which was the whole, so I had prayed about making the video about the harvest moon, and I asked the Lord, can you show me something outside my window, sign in the sky if you want me to make it? And I saw outside my window, I saw this bright light, and people in the comments helped me to realize it is Venus. So I thought I would do some research on Venus because it was so bright. I had prayed, and what are the chances I pray? I mean, it's really bright outside my window to be like, it's not a star. I'm literally looking at a planet with my bare eyes. So I did some research, and it kind of ties into some stuff that's going on. So I just wanted to read you a couple articles, and then we'll wrap up there. So somehow this article about Venus relates to the V word video I did, is the V word, the MOTB. And I showed you guys I linked you guys to a video by Dana, who her channel's called Watching for Jesus, I think it is. Watching for Christ or Watching for Jesus. And she talked about people who took the V word being like the Church of Pergamos, and that they had given over to the teachings. They were allowing the teachings of Balaam, and that's why he was so mad at them, the Nicolaitans and Balaam. So when I'm looking at about Venus, I read this, and I'll read this to you quickly. In Numbers 22-24, the account of King Balak summoning Balaam, a pagan prophet, to curse Israel. However, Balaam could only pronounce what God allowed him to say or what God forced him to say. In Balaam's fourth oracle prophecy, he said, I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and battle the brow of Moab, and destroy all the sons of tumult. Regarding this verse, the Nelson Study Bible says the poetic language clearly refers to the Messiah. The pagan Balaam had a vision of the coming of the Hebrew Messiah, the Lord Jesus Christ. He was visible from afar. He was like a star, radiant and beautiful. He was like a scepter, majestic and powerful. Now notice Revelation 22:16, which says, I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify to you these things in the churches. I am the root of the offspring of David, the bright and morning star. So we see that the planet Venus is a metaphor for Jesus Christ. Balaam's prophecy will be wholly fulfilled with the second coming of Christ. The Bible uses the word star to refer to any bright object in the sky other than the sun and moon, and the word planet is not in the Bible. So the Bible does not distinguish between planets and true stars. All of God's creation should remind us of the Creator. Now we have seen specifically that Venus should remind us of Christ. So that article was actually called Venus, the Jewel of the Sky. And it was linking the Bible to Venus and Christ and things like that. Anyway, the article was called Venus, the Jewel of the Sky. So I guess that's like its nickname. So basically what the article was saying was it's like it should remind us of Christ. So that thing that I saw, or the light that I saw out my window when I asked for confirmation if I should make the video, was Venus. And what is the chances that I would find an article that relates it to Balaam when I literally just talked about how, I agree with Dana that the people who took the V word she felt like it was a word from God, like the Church of Pergamos, and they were holding to the teachings of the Nicolaitans and Balaam, and they had to repent from holding to those teachings. So Balaam actually he had to get Israel to curse themselves. I just read that. So that article even talks about it. And think about it. It's like he couldn't put this curse on Israel. It's something like that. I don't have the story perfectly, but so that he had to get them to curse themselves. So I kind of felt like it could have been a sign to me that I'm on the right track. The stuff that I'm talking about is right. And that's what's happening in the world right now, is that God's people, some of them are kind of putting a curse on themselves. And that it also brought me back to reading the churches of Revelation. I went back to read them again, and because I wanted to just refresh my memory as to what he said to everybody. So yeah, anyway, so I guess there was a lot of different stuff here, but I feel like it all kind of tied in together somehow, just to say Jesus is watching over us. He's coming. He's on his way. The birth pains are one after the next. Check out those articles. I mean, that is absolutely crazy what's happening if you don't take the third dose. And literally it lines up to that video that I made about the V word and the MOTB. Like, it lines up. This Venus kind of relating to Balaam, relating to cursing themselves, relating to the third dose. And if you don't take it, now you have to have a GPS on you. Again, check these facts. Like, this was on the website. Like I said, Now the End Begins. And just tying in everything I've been talking about in the recent videos, like about the feast days and stuff like that. And this was supposed to be on the Jewish calendar, the Feast of Tabernacles. And I saw this harvest moon, and look how God blessed me. It was just so beautiful. And I really felt like it was symbolic that even though I'm in the woods doing this ridiculous thing, being kind of told what to do, wear a mask, go in the woods, vote for somebody and it doesn't matter, and all these crazy things, that he's watching. And yes, it's dark, and yes, it's creepy and weird, but it won't be long. And it was like a super beautiful sight and a reminder. So I just want to remind you guys of that it's going to be okay. But it also made me really think that time is up. Okay. Like, Trudeau was going to win. That's how it was going to be, because it's not going back. I thought maybe I could somehow help people in the tribulation, or I thought that maybe there's a chance that I'm wrong and there's like a small reprieve, but that would make no sense. A reprieve would make no sense because, like I said, there's an earthquake, the volcano, like these articles are coming out every day. There's something more. And something else that's interesting is my friend, my neighbor, if you guys follow my channel for a while, he still helps me out with a lot of research, but she's really busy right now because she's about to have a baby. Okay. I'm keeping her identity, anonymous, but she actually has done some videos with me as well. But she more stays in the background and helps me with research and stuff. Anyway, she's literally having contractions right now. So she's about to have a baby, and she's due October 1st. So the timing of all this is just like, it's a lot. It's a lot of amazing things all coming together. But yeah, she's about to have a baby, her third baby, and she's really busy, but she still sends me articles and stuff. So, in fact, one of my last videos was an article she sent me. So she's still trying, but yeah, she is already starting to have contractions. Okay. Meaning it's any moment now. But yeah, her due date's October 1st. So we shall see how this all plays out. But I just thought all this, I know it's a lot of different things. It's all over. I mean, but it's just things that are interesting, and it's kind of things that I know other people are interested in too. But yeah, so I was just joking about all the Canadian stuff. This is not my home. Like, I don't have allegiance to any country. Yeah. I guess that's pretty much it. So hopefully that was interesting to you guys. Hope you got a giggle, or it was interesting to know where I was last night under the harvest moon. And yeah, I guess check out those articles and just keep looking up, because literally we are at the door. It's any moment. Revelation 12. It's not letting up, and we're not going back, but some of us are going up. So hopefully I will see you in the air soon. If not, I will talk to you again on another video. Until next time, God bless and shalom.